back to the Brew Pill. Okay, we vaguely started talking about one of our favorite directors, Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Love Kevin Smith. We're going to first open our next beer, which is Bengali by 6 Point Brewery.
6.6 alcohol by volume. 66 IBU. This is going to hit high probably on the 12 Christmas trees.
The 12 Christmas trees.
Yes.
This is obviously higher. We've got a 7 and a 9.
Yeah.
As we've started this, so
we'll see if this is a 12.
I don't think it'll be a 12. That's strange because I was expecting a lot more with an IBU that high. It's not very. That's probably like a 3 or a 4.
That's what I was gonna say. You know, it would be a little below a 5.
Because they've taken a lot of that Christmas tree factor out.
I can taste the aftertaste. There's a little bit of bitterness,
but it's not much.
No.
To be that high on the IBU, 66. Do they have different people who are judging
I don't know.
this?
6 Point Brewery, you might be my IPA go-to.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Yes. Very good. 6 Point. Excuse me. Oh, I thought I paused it. Okay.
So it's an interesting information on the back. Sorry, I was looking at.
That's okay.
I brewed in Brooklyn and Memphis, Tennessee. That's really.
Did you get the hop? The fermentation in one spot or not? I don't know.
But that's just really odd to me. It's just too.
It says it's best served in a glass, and we're drinking out of the can.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's a good for an IPA.
Yeah.
I'll have to try this next time in a glass to see if it tastes different.
Yeah.
You know, they always say different glasses can affect the taste.
Yeah.
So, I like bars that you go into, and they actually have certain glasses set aside for certain beers.
Beer World.
Beer World.
World of Beer. Yeah, I'm sorry.
He's a couple.
Beer World. Yeah.
Beer. That was a Beer World.
Yeah.
But we're getting into Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin Smith.
He's got the reboot, the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yeah.
And I'm excited.
I am too. Every time he says he's got a movie coming out,
even if it's not a Jay and Silent Bob, even though he's the best person at dialogue in my opinion.
Yeah.
I liked Cop Out, even though he didn't say he wasn't proud of it. I liked Red State.
Oh, dude, I loved Red State.
Red State was to me an awesome. And I love you, Kevin.
Yes.
You got the best out of John Goodman. To me, John was amazing.
Did you see where he was talking about how he made that?
Uh-oh.
It was really interesting. He had a friend, and what he would do is he would write part of the script. He would send him the script and say, okay, read up to here and tell me what you think is going to happen next. And he would tell him, he would do the exact opposite of what that guy said because he didn't want
it predictable.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was a really interesting way of writing a movie. I was like, okay, and it was a great movie. Loved it. I haven't seen, and I really want to see it, Tusk.
Tusk is disturbing.
It's
great, it's brilliant, but it's disturbing.
And then Yoga Hosers.
I haven't seen Yoga Hosers yet. I've been holding off because, the reviews, but I'll see it.
I don't care. I mean, anything he comes out with, I want to see it.
Yes. So. Yes. We started with Clerks. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you went Clerks, Mallrats.
Interesting story about Clerks. Sorry, I'm a little younger than Simon, so I was a little.
Believe it or not, with a beautiful beard he has, and I can't grow one. He's a millennial. Somehow.
When it came out, I wasn't old enough to see it, and my father kept me away from it for years. And finally,
your dad kept you away.
He kept me away from it.
Did he not like it?
We had a rack of VHSs.
Did he not like it?
No, he loves it. That's his favorite movie.
Then why did he keep you away from it?
Because he said I was too young.
You're too young.
I was too young, and then that was the one movie on the rack of movies we had that I was not allowed to watch.
Really?
And being the good kid I was, I never even snuck to watch it. I was like, no.
That would make me the most curious.
And so finally one day he was like,
"You're old enough.
You're ready."
Cha-cha.
So we watched it. And I will say, for the amount of anticipation I had for it, at first I was like, this is the most boring piece of crap I've ever seen in my life.
Because it was dialogue. It's a lot of dialogue.
It was. So then I went back a few years later and I watched it and I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. I love it, I mean, because you have to sit there, you have to be prepared to listen to all the stuff they say, and it's like, okay.
And after you get to, you're at a certain point, I don't think you appreciate it if you haven't worked.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing is you have to, and the people you deal with on a working basis, when you work, you have these oddities, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, me and my friends at work, this is something we would talk about, we discuss. And we wanted to make a movie of our own, because we do stucco. We want to call it stucco and spell it S-T-U-C-K with the little 2 dots like Metallica does, whatever it's called, with little 2 dots on top of the K, and then O, stucco, because we're stuck in it. And we wanted to go through all of the laborers that we've gone through over the last 20 years, because there are some curiosity cases of people. I mean, we had a guy who worked for us who had to take a day off, and he just started our job. He was 1 week in, and he had to take a day off because he had to find a second job to pay for lunch on our job.
He was going to work on his lunch hour? Or?
No, he took the entire day off to try to find another job.
I know, but he was looking for like a job for
a part-time job at night.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? So
yeah, that's what was confusing. I mean, I could tell you stories, and that's what Kevin made me think of when he told these stories of the people, the customers. It's like, it's just as odd the people you work with.
Yeah.
When you see the basic people and their excuses for not coming in are hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm sick, I'm sick. And some people would come up with excuses of ridiculous natures. But,
I get really polite when I call out. I don't know what the deal is.
I'm sick.
I don't feel well.
I don't feel
That's why I call in and it's like I'm not feeling well. And I never say that in everyday conversation. I'm like, oh, I feel like crap. But when I call into my boss, it's like, I don't feel well. I won't be in. It's like, what is that? You know?
Where's that voice coming from? I don't feel well.
Now, the people that work for me now, I'm a boss, and I'm still getting used to that. They text me, which is, it's interesting.
Because they're afraid you're going to know you're going to call them. Well, the first time I called out sick, I literally got sick to my stomach because I was like, he's going to call me out. Because I really wasn't feeling that bad.
You weren't feeling it that day.
I wasn't feeling it, and so I called in, and I was so afraid he was going to call me out. It like ate up part of my stomach, so I can understand them texting you, because there wasn't a text option in my day. You called in, you had to, I'm not coming in. Really? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. I always try to call before my boss gets in, and I leave a voicemail. Because I feel that way. I'm like, if he answers the phone, it's going to be like, what's wrong? Yeah. You can't come in because your stomach doesn't feel well? There's a bathroom right down the hallway. You can,
Yes. So, thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
For the brilliant dialogue. Back in Clerks, Mallrats, you brought us Ben Affleck. I call him Ben Affleck, I'm sorry. Or Affleck. Wendy. I don't really know how to pronounce his last name.
Did you take your Beneflick today?
Did you take your Beneflick? So sorry, Ben, if you ever hear this, I'm not picking. I'm just not very good on certain words.
Ben, if you hear this, please comment.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love you too. I love Kevin. I love you.
And I'm very sad you gave up Batman because you were doing a pretty good job.
Oh, he was awesome older Batman. Yes. He was right up there with Frank Miller with a gruffness. Yeah. I think it was perfect. I think Ben has come a long way in acting still.
Yes. No.
Phantoms, bro.
You didn't. Okay, I really loved Dark Knight. I'm really horrible with names. I'm sorry, guys. So I got Simon. Christian Bale. I really loved him, but a lot of people called him out on the world is wrong. Yeah, people called him out, but he was still a great Batman. But I feel like you kind of made that medium. You were a good Batman, and you had that kind of changed voice, but it wasn't like
you had to. Can you imagine? Yeah. I mean, like Superman puts on glasses, but he never changes his voice. He's just like the same mild mannered. Thank you. Have a nice day. I mean, Batman, you're the Dark Knight. You have to talk.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, and he did a great job. I was skeptical when they were like, Ben Affleck's gonna be Batman, and I was like, but he pulled it off. Yeah.
There was nicknames, but after Mallrats, Dogma, amazeballs.
Great.
I mean, when they talked at one time, they talked about a Dogma 2, and I'm like, please. I mean, Alan Rickman, amazing.
Yes.
Matt Damon.
Rest his soul.
I'd pour out one for the homies, but that's wasting beer.
And we're inside, so.
Yeah, I make a mess. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in Dogma.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, that made me actually write a semi-story for one called The Rapture, because Kevin and Dogma was amazing.
Yeah.
After that, you had Chasing Amy. Brilliant. You're going to have to help me with this without looking stuff up. Then he would Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
Which was
Mark Hamill. Of all people, he brought Mark Hamill in, and it was great.
Yes. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, looking at the camera when Matt and Ben and everyone, you wouldn't bring anybody from the past. You know, they'd have staring into the camera. I mean, the play on it was awesome. I liked Copland because it still had not Copland.
Cop Out.
Cop Out.
Yeah.
Copland with Sylvester Stallone. Cop Out. I liked it because Tracy Morgan made it.
IMDb in a human body right here.
No,
He pulls out names for movies, and I'm like, what movie is that? And he's like, oh yeah, so-and-so was in it. You know.
Red State. John Goodman was.
Oh, I love Red State.
Red State. Thank you, Kevin.
Yes.
Tusk. You have to see Tusk. And I know he's directed a lot of episodes of The Flash, Arrow. Kevin, you brought me into Green Arrow when you got to write Green Arrow for DC. You were amazing. And he brought back Daredevil. There were two great characters that I was never into because it was before my time of comic book, and he made me love them.
I will say I liked the Daredevil movie, the original
With
one.
Ben?
I liked it. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was good.
And they followed Elektra. I didn't think Elektra was as bad as they said.
And what I thought was great was, like you said, Kevin Smith wrote for Daredevil, and here he is as the medical examiner in the movie.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, okay.
Yes, Kevin.
But, I mean, Kevin Smith.
This is our love for you.
Yes.
This is our first director we're talking about in our episodes.
Yeah.
And it's because of our love for you. Thank you for what you do. I'm glad you're still around. We know he had a heart attack, and he had to redo his whole life, and he rethought.
He was a vegan for a little while. I think he's starting to slowly take the meat.
I know he did Weight Watchers.
Yeah, he was.
I never thought he was that big because I'm a big guy, so I never thought Kevin was that big.
I watched. I follow Joe Rogan.
Yes.
Here on YouTube, and he actually interviewed him several times. There's been a couple times he's done it, and he was talking about his diet, and he said, he went in to the doctor, and the doctor's like, you got to change how you eat and what you do. And he said his daughter is actually a vegan. And she was like, Dad, it's time. You gotta give it the meat. And so he did for a while. And he's commented a couple times, I'm a carnivore. You can tell I'm a bigger guy. I'm a carnivore. I love the meat.
I love everything.
Make your jokes as you will. But
I'm gonna have to. You love meat. I'm gonna have to bring you over. Do you like Thai food?
Yeah.
One night I'm gonna cook him Thai pad Thai. Tofu pad Thai. And I guarantee you will not think it's got tofu.
I was skeptical of tofu for a while, and then I finally tried it, and I was like, this ain't so bad.
They make it out a lot worse than it needs to be.
But he was on Joe Rogan, he was talking about, he's like, I'm starting to slowly bring it back in, but I still have to be careful about how I go about my...
We need to keep him around. He's a treasure.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's great. I mean, you just, if you haven't heard of him, or you haven't given him a chance, just do. I mean...
Yes, try something. Start at Clerks. Please start at Clerks.
Yeah.
And go through the entire thing. And you may not agree with every single thing, but that's okay because you'll find something that you will. Trust me. I can't wait for the reboot to come out.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
It's exciting.
While we're on the subject of directors,
yes.
One that I haven't seen anything from a little while, and I probably maybe missed something, but he did Avengers and...
Joss
Whedon, yes.
We'll go back to Joss. We're dealing with Kevin right now.
I know we're dealing with Kevin, but I said, I wanted to bring him up because I haven't seen anything from him from a while, and I love him as a director as well. I think of
Buffy.
Well, no, I think of the geek directors.
Yes.
I picture them in my mind as like the pantheon of Greek gods, and Joss Whedon to me is Zeus. Pantheon. And you've got Kevin Smith, and he's like Poseidon. He's not all the way up there, but he's right there.
Yes.
That's how I kind of feel about it. There's other ones, but I just kind of see them as people say, oh, he's the geek god, and I'm like, okay, he's kind of like Zeus. He's up there, but we need to come back to Joss Whedon.
We will. We'll come back to Joss, but we do approve of an IPA.
Yeah, this is good. This is
6 Point Bengali.
This is a good sipping IPA. Like I said, I nurse stuff.
It's a low on the Christmas tree. We're gonna give it 3.
Yeah,
we're okay with 3.
3's good. I mean, it's tasty.
And we'll be back.